Hello?
Yep. It's a good morning. It's a Thursday.
Hello, good morning? Hello, fiancés?
What up, y'all?
We have only been doing Mondays
Uh-huh.
for 5 times. We've done 4 times? 5 times.
5.
I keep just saying 4. My bad. Not having a Monday show this week has completely thrown me. I don't know if anybody even loves us anymore. You know, like, do we still have relationships?
Oh, wow.
We missed a day.
You did. Yeah.
We love you. We miss you. Are you there?
It's definitely different with the Mondays, having that news to reflect on Thursdays. And did we talk about that this week? But, you know, apologies to anyone that was looking forward to us Monday night. Also, are subscribed to us and looking for that Monday show. Had a schedule conflict.
That's what it's called.
Yeah, I was like, conflict of schedule. I guess you could have said that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It usually goes conflict of interest. So you got caught up there, I think.
I was interested in conflicting schedules or something.
Huh.
You know?
Well.
But yeah.
Anywho, we're pretending that we have energy this morning. Woo! Yeah! Yeah! Woo! Good morning! Neither one of us slept very well. We're both having some weird like temperature regulations.
I'm having hot flashes, bro.
I don't know why we tell you all of our things. Maybe I shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah,
I'm like, my glands are swollen. I had a migraine yesterday.
These are our fiancés. We tell them these things.
That's true. That pressure got me yesterday.
Relationships are about communication.
Oh.
What'd you say? Pressure got
you. Yeah. Got a text from Jorah Nones. Good morning. Jorah says, I'm wondering what your thoughts are on Carmen Rubios' horrible driving, Renee's general horribleness, and Keith Wilson potentially being the best nominee. Good morning. Portland politics are really doing the Watusi on us, right? Like,
oh my gosh. I think I got to do some more research on Keith Wilson.
I'll tell you this. Mm-hmm. If we're talking about driving records and tickets, I feel like maybe there are worse things that could be happening in someone's
absolutely
record, you know?
Absolutely. I mean, I do understand the angle, though. You know, it's air quotes, an earmark of responsibility. You know, how do you handle things in your personal life? How it reflects how you handle public policy. That's, you know,
I want all of that. Here's the thing. Remember when they were like, Joanne Hardesty is a person in debt?
Yeah.
And that wasn't at all close to an indictment on how little people make within their lifetime. And I'm not talking about, I don't know how she racked up that debt. I don't know where it came from, but that was
never like she had gambling debt and she owed like some bookies or something. It was never like that was what was happening. It was just like,
even if it was debt. In the way, even if it was gambling debt, I guess my thing was, we don't know where that racked up from. So everybody's immediate response was like, they get paid $140,000 on city council. How could she have any debt? And I'm like, guys, are we really saying that there are people that don't have, that you need to not have debt, that you need to not have had unpaid parking tickets to be a person who understands how to address those issues? And the reason I say that is it is really expensive to be poor. It's incredibly expensive to be poor.
Yeah. For sure.
So when you can just like, oh, I just paid that ticket, no big deal. Cool. I love that for you. If it's pay this ticket or me and my kids eat or me and my kids have a place to live still, who's choosing what? I'm not paying the city for a ticket if it means that my kids don't eat.
Yeah, for real.
Now, I don't know any of those people's situations. That's just how I feel about it.
What I found more interesting, and I wish I could remember the details, is what they were getting tickets for. what the repeated tickets was for. It was like registration, which we can all relate to. Parking tickets. Which ones are moving violations? It's like, oh, okay. All right. So you out here a while. Okay. Okay. All right.
I mean, is it Tokyo Drift or is it I hopped out and went into the library and came back out and had a ticket?
This is a good question. So this is what we need to get down to the nitty and gritty of.
We clearly have not.
Are they a part of the street racing
takeovers?
Would
that make them cooler to you?
Yes. I'll tell you that right now. I'll tell you that right now. Yeah.
Michelle said, Feigned Energy Club. Yes.
Michelle.
Good morning, Michelle.
Yes.
Hi, I'm finally here live with y'all. Thanks for bringing us news filled with logic and reality. AJ!
Hey, girl.
I miss you, baby. It's been so long.
It has. Yeah. If they were out there, getting it popping on Fremont Bridge, I'd be like, my city council person's out there. It's going down.
You would love it.
I would.
They're embedded in the community.
What?
Yeah.
Talk to me about it. Let's go. Quite reckless, but yeah.
Very.
I'd enjoy it.
Knock, knock.
Oh, man. Who's there?
Eric Adams has been indicted for fraud.
Oh. Can't say I saw that one coming. Delicious.
I'm going to laugh at that for forever.
You got to clip that out. We got to clip that out.
My man just gave a key to the city to Diddy. To the diddler.
Had to take it back. And then was like, you got to go through trials and tribulations. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It can't just be one. It's going to have to be both. Because sometimes those trials be tribulating.
It's true. Mm-hmm. And when you're doing amazing things, they come for you. If heavy is the head or something like that.
Or something like that.
If you're going to come at the king, you better not miss. And I feel like the feds ain't missing right now. The feds are out here
they on it. The feds are on the J.O.B.
Thank you for all of your phones. When you hear that somebody's phone has been taken by law enforcement, and I mean FBI type law enforcement, not like Scott at the PPB or whatever.
Right.
But when you're what do you think when you hear that has happened, are you like, whoa, what's on my phone? I have 27,000 screenshots on my phone.
So last night was the first time that I heard how it happened.
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about how
pulling up to an engagement with his security detail.
Mm-hmm.
The vehicle got stopped.
By the police?
By federal agents.
Oh.
They asked the security to get out. Then they got in.
To the vehicle?
Yes.
Was this John Wick? I don't know if John Wick does that. I've never seen those movies. I just know he be shooting people.
Wait, it's a John Wick move.
I feel like,
And then it was like, we're going to need all of your devices. So if you could just...
Oh, like right now.
Right. Right now.
So a stranger gets into my vehicle and asks for my phone, and I'm the mayor of New York City. I don't know that I'm going to do it.
Oh, first off, you're the black mayor of New York City. Get it right.
The first one in a while.
Okay. Identify the politics.
Oh, boy.
Okay. Because that's what he's talking about. They're just trying to take me down.
Is he trying to buy NBC?
He might be. I had a conversation with a new work colleague that we're working with, some talent. They're based in New York, and Eric Adams' name came up. And they're like, yeah, we don't know if you know what's going on with Eric Adams and his administration. I said, hey, you don't got to tell me nothing. I know it all. Man's is about to go down. And they were like, yeah, it's a plot. They're just trying to take that black man down and da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, oh. I said, you know what? I'm just going to chill right there. Let you have that. We're going to agree to disagree. Because on the way in to office, the man was lying about where he lived.
Uh-oh.
Which struck a huge chord with me. And then man's made it very clear, I'm bringing back stop and frisk. That's not a mayor I want at all.
Certainly not.
Not even in the city I don't live in.
Right.
I don't want that for you, New York.
I don't want that for you, New York.
No.
I don't want that for any of the citizens of New York that have to get to deal with Mayor Adams just trying to share the wealth with his homies, Right. Extract the wealth of the city and give it to the police.
AJ said, Eric Adams' indictment is juicy and delightful. It's an interesting place to be in. As someone,
a hit and run.
Yeah, we got to talk to Jorah about that. As someone who, I'm not for the criminal justice system, but you line up Diddy, Eric Adams, who else? Somebody else I'm forgetting.
That's new, or there's like 18 different
in
cases
the wings. I named
Trump
them last night. It was
from
there's that guy. Like, let's
go.
Henyard, Tiffany Henyard.
Yeah,
let's go. Let's get it popping. What? Oh, shout out to Olayemi Olorin.
Definitely,
this woman led the charge.
A crusade of justice, if you will.
Crusade of justice.
A defense attorney, prison abolitionist.
Yep.
YouTube personality.
Yes.
Who is a person, an immigrant who has lived in America for most of her life.
Yep.
But cannot vote.
Nope.
And is an advocate for people being more politically engaged.
Yeah.
And she's been giving us the goods on Eric Adams in New York since the beginning of that campaign. And I appreciate anybody who has the moments of like, I didn't clearly see what needed to happen here.
Right.
And I see it now. And that was the mistake of people just looking over Maya Wiley.
Yeah.
And deciding for whatever. I'm sure there were a plethora of reasons.
Sure.
Misogynoir.
Sure.
There was a lot of contradictory things. Like, she's a former prosecutor. Okay, well, he is also a former police officer.
Cop.
Like, that
He's
whole
a whole
cop, not just like, corrupt cop.
I hope Maya runs again. I don't think she will, but I hope she runs again.
It'd be interesting if there will be like a special election or something, but he's not going to resign. So, let's be clear. He's already said, I'm stepping up. I am not stepping down. Don't step on my
sorry.
My quotes of Eric Adams.
I'm sorry. My apologies. If Kathy Hochul removes him, it takes 80 days for a special election, which puts it almost right up against the coming election anyway. So it's like messy. It's super messy. Yeah, so she would remove him. Then you'd have the interim mayor. Then there'd be that 80 days. Then a special election would happen. New York would get their new interim mayor. And then the regular election would come around, and then the actual mayor. Thank you, Eric Adams. This is what you have gifted us. Congratulations.
I don't know. I don't think we should even be thinking about any of that. Donald Trump is running for president still under many indictments, under, convictions.
Yeah.
So
he's a white man, so he do what he wants.
That's true.
Yeah.
But this particular black man has the weight of Turkey behind him.
It's true. So Elie Mystal brought up a good point. He was like, the fact that Eric Adams is the first New York mayor to be indicted says a lot about how much we've let New York mayors get away with in the past.
Bruh.
I was like, whoa, whoa, didn't expect that, but you are correct. You are correct. Yeah. But yeah, let's talk about Turkey. Let's talk about how that's where I think the indictment gets unsealed soon. The way the news platforms were talking about it yesterday, it's like we just gotta wait till tomorrow or something like that. But yeah, apparently he's had some unsavory dealings with Turkey, and that some money from Turkey made it into his campaign.
And some other countries or allegations of other countries. It's not just Turkey.
You know what? Way to diversify, Mr. Adams.
Well,
diversify your criminal portfolio.
It does take a village to become a mayor.
Or several foreign villages.
Countries.
Gotcha. A village of countries.
It takes a village of countries to elect a mayor.
New York mayor. Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
And, well, I don't know about this, but the FBI seizes his phone yet again. This is 60 minutes ago from the AP.
They said new phone.
Who this? NYC Mayor Eric Adams charged with taking bribes and illegal campaign funds from foreign sources.
You got your backup phone taken? You got your burner taken?
The burner.
Just stay off the cells, B. Stay off.
FBI seizes NYC mayor's phone ahead of the expected unsealing of an indictment. So I was, looking to see if it was unsealed yet because we're 3 hours behind. Not yet. At least I don't see it. Okay. Oh, wait. Lying 8 minutes ago. Okay, I don't know.
It unsealed 8 minutes ago?
We're going to have to, yep. And
to update it?
Yeah, I'm going to have to read that real quick.
While you're looking that up, I was going to say, Jorah, who did the hit and run last week?
Carmen Rubios.
Was it Carmen?
Yeah, I was also trying to look that up real fast. I didn't know about it, Jorah. I'm
oh no.
I'm going to be honest, because we were talking about parking tickets. I haven't even looked at any of the headlines that are like Carmen Rubio and anything to do with driving. I did not. So the Portland mayoral candidate, Carmen Rubio, claims she is being exploited after being accused of dinging a parked Tesla. I mean, hit and run definitely does sound like she hit someone, like a moving violation.
No, hit and run sounds vicious.
Not hit a car and ran. But, either way, you got to leave it.
This is what she just said. It sounds a little different than hit the car and ran. What?
It's the
run
same.
Sounds different than hit and ran?
It's the same.
Yeah, gosh, Carmen. And then lied about leaving a note? Oh, boy. Wait, he had a Tesla? They got cameras. Oh, yeah.
The incident happened September 13th as Commissioner Carmen Rubio pulled into a parking spot next to a Tesla. She allegedly scraped the bumper and wheel. Okay, that's not dinging. Scraped the bumper and wheel rim with her Nissan Murano, then appeared to walk away from the scene. Sorry. The allegation came to light in an article from the Oregonian, which spoke with the owner of the Tesla and obtained video and images of the damage.
Yeah. I mean, come on. Who hasn't scraped the Tesla in their day? Yo, the first time I was like, I don't know if I saw it. I don't know where I saw it. YouTube, whatever. But that Teslas do that. I was like, holy smokes. They have proximity alerts that just turn the camera on.
Yeah.
Bananas.
Yeah. It's better than a police body cam.
Way better.
Yep.
Way better. Wow.
Wait, was the person in the car?
I hope not.
Oh, no, that's car. Okay. In a statement provided by Rubio's campaign manager, the commissioner laid out her side of the story to KGW. Quote, at the time, I felt my car bump or lift slightly. Concerned, I checked for damage to the neighboring car, a Tesla. Seeing none, I went to my appointment, Rubio said in a statement. When she returned to her car, Rubio said, she found a note from the Tesla's owner, then immediately called and texted and offered to connect her with my insurance. The Tesla's owner texted Rubio back and spoke they spoke Saturday on the phone. Rubio then claimed the Tesla owner said she looked up Rubio online and went on at length about Rubio's traffic violations record and said people should know the kind of person I am.
Oh, boy.
Well, Jorah.
Carmen Rubes. Oh, man. That's messy boots.
Yeah, I'm sorry for having sorry for pausing. That we need a different way to handle some either breaking news or news that we didn't know about yet. You know,
that was awesome. Oh, Jorah sent us a video, DM'd us on IG. We can watch that on the break. It's going to be great. Wow, this is what I'm talking about. Our newsroom is popping. You know what I'm saying? The fiancés are in the newsroom. I feel like I am at a news desk, and there's that glass behind us, and everyone's at their desks, and they're pulling us up, and someone's walking by, getting something from the printer. That's what I want.
That's what I want.
They're delivering.
I'm not mad at it.
Thank you, guys. That is hilarious.
Ay.
Sheesh.
Yeah, so I guess we'll look more into that, Jorah, and maybe that makes it to Monday, or we're back Thursday talking about a little more in depth, because that's gonna keep stealing the words out of my mouth. Yeah, like I'm not gonna be able to.
Definitely, y'all better watch it around these Teslas. You're gonna get you every time. Wowzers. Yeah, so Eric Adams is this developing story, so we'll definitely be talking about that on Monday as more details continue.
Definitely.
Oh, boy. Wow.
Got to take a second and just make sure that we acknowledge and rest in power to Marcellus Williams, a Black man executed by the state, Missouri.
Yeah.
And my question for you, fiancés, how do you feel about the death penalty? Where do you sit? And this isn't like a wrong answer kind of thing. I'm very curious because I haven't seen people's response be the way people responded to this. And I do believe that part of that is it is an election year. And there are a lot of people pretending they care about the possibility of innocent people being killed. And the reason I say that they are pretending to care is in any other way, on any other day, they got no problem with it.
Yeah.
But in the moment when you have someone to blame for it, all of a sudden we're high horsing it. And it's just very interesting to me to see people who are disconnected in every way from how harmful the American criminal justice system is, all of a sudden be experts and know exactly how every single thing works and why it went this way, but never have a thing to say outside of this. Like if the death penalty bothers you, Cop City should bother you. We should be hearing more from you about the complete and total relentless bombardment and onslaught of death happening in Gaza, in Palestine, to the Palestinian people on purpose. This is what we mean when we say that the things are all connected. We are not just complicit in that genocide. We are active in that genocide, just as we are active in killing our own citizens, whether they are guilty or not. And there are moments where we have to sit back and go, I know this thing has always been this way for my whole life. So I've never really had to sit and even think about it. What does really the death penalty mean? How does it get enacted? Do you sit and think about how long it takes? The psychological damage that it does to someone, that they are just sitting waiting to die. Imagine sitting waiting to die for a thing you didn't do. Are you a true crime fan? Are you a person who loves solving the mystery.
Mm.
How many stories have you heard of innocent people spending too much time of their lives in prison? Glaring evidence. And the reason that it gets fought is ego.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't wrong. The police did their best job. They don't lie. The amount of innocent people killed by the state, one too many. You know what I mean? One is too many. And if the point is justice, that would have stopped a long time ago, right? I don't understand how in 2024 we can be real gung-ho on something we know doesn't work, but I also know that is exactly how this country works. That is exactly how our governments work. We are just slapping lipstick on pigs everywhere and acting like, you know, that's enough of an Instagram filter. We real fine out here now.
Right.
Best country in the world.
AJ said, the death penalty is barbaric and unproductive. It needs to be abolished, and we need our justice system rooted in rehabilitation and care. Death is not justice. It's punitive, final, and resolves nothing. I am loud about Cop City, the multiple genocides, the violence in general. It all needs to change. Period.
So that's my question. I wondered, is there anything, what is the death penalty rooted in? If you are just pulling the thread, trying to figure it out, is it anything other than revenge? Is it anything other than an eye for an eye? You did this, so you deserve to die. The same people that came up with that idea are the same people that will tell you that no one can judge them but God.
Right.
I just want to, one day it would be cool to be spoiled with some consistency.
Yeah. Washed in consistency.
Yeah. Like, which one is it going to be?
P-Town says, Marcellus was not an execution. That was murder. The blood-hungry government around us has problems, has no problems continuing to kill us.
Yep.
We have to have a problem continuing. We have to have a problem with them continuing to kill us. We have to have a problem with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's amazing to me how many people don't. Or how quickly P-Town, the entire story becomes not about him and not about the way that we have state-sanctioned murder, but about whose fault it was politically. And you know who they're not talking about? The actual governor who had action.
Right.
I honestly, and I shouldn't have been, and silly me, and, all of those things. Morgan, know better. But I was absolutely shocked yesterday to see the amount of what I would say, the blue MAGA, the vote blue no matter who, blue wave coming folk, saying progressives and leftists are the reason that this happened, because had they had voted for Hilary Clinton in 2016, this would have never happened.
Cool. Well, we have Biden, so.
I want someone to try and make it make sense. There are too many things there. I just don't understand, where does the memory go? And this is a person with a terrible memory saying this. But like, maybe before you get extra loud about something, take a step back and be like, am I remembering this right? Hit that Google. I don't know. Something has to happen.
But they could count on people not relying on history and also not taking a step back.
True.
And just throw whatever they went out there.
And now we're arguing a point that ain't even real.
Exactly.
Right.
Shout out to Jake Tapper.
To what?
Jake Tapper.
Oh, boy. Yeah. Yikes.
Can't wait to get into that story.
We're going to get into that one.
Yeah. That's basically. So Michelle says death penalty not even mentioned in the Democratic platform.
Period.
Every day the U.S. is a bit less subtle about being actively in the project of manufacturing death for Black people, Indigenous people, immigrant people, and the global South. Not even part of the conversation, but like you said, they're saying, had you guys voted for Hillary.
I'm just going to say again, Hilary Clinton won the popular vote.
Right.
Hillary Clinton lost because of the Electoral College when we're coming down to these things, right? So did the progressives and leftists vote or no?
What happened?
And there's always going to be people that say, I am not going to do this. And that is absolutely their right. But Hillary lost for a gabillion reasons.
Yeah, for all the Hillary reasons.
Most of them self-inflicted.
Yeah.
Or I won't say most. Many of them self-inflicted. I just... that right there, and this is also the same people that are saying nobody, the left doesn't know basic civics.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But you want me to believe that the Hillary Clinton had anything about the death penalty? Was talking about anything?
Yeah, stop it. Stop it. Cut it out.
Not these Democrats. Are you for real? It would have been just, we wouldn't be dealing with this. Be for real for once. This text says death penalty is rooted in chattel slavery. It's modern day lynching. Mm-hmm. Period.
And then followed up. That was AJ with, wasn't Jesus lynched? A wild tradition for Christians to continue to participate in all things considering. Yeah, for real. Seriously.
This message says, our communities have to begin to not normalize the government doing whatever they want.
Thank you, P-Town.
That.
Yeah.
And I'll add that our communities need to normalize getting the government to do what we want. What we want.
Yeah.
Because the way that government works right now, and likely most of our lives, has been a lot of people doing a whole lot of nothing but obstructing, and then a small amount of people doing what they can to get things to the people. And it's got to be a reverse of that. We need the larger amount, government can absolutely do what we need it to do if we put people and not the profits first. I mean, it really is that simple. We got one more text. Brooke. Hi, Brooke. How many of us called, emailed, and shared something about Marcellus? Why the F didn't Kamala open her mouth /heart? She has none. Only puppet strings held by the ruling class.
Skadoosh.
Ding 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 ding. Sonic rings.
Yeah, sonic rings everywhere. Yeah. Yeah.
It's been an interesting thing for me, Brooke, to see people saying she couldn't have done anything. Biden couldn't have done anything. Again, with the y'all don't know anything about civics. And my question is going to continuously be, is it against federal law for them to say, I don't like the thing that's happening? Is it politically damning to say this doesn't feel right?
Just that.
I mean, if you want to beat any of the top cop allegations, Kamala, maybe it's time for you to say, as a prosecutor, sometimes we've gotten it wrong. As much as it pains me to say, it appears this person is innocent. It appears at the very least, for a person who knows that entire process, it appears at the very least, this deserves another look. Right?
Here's the other thing. We got to constantly be reminded, because a lot of things are being, Kamala's running. Kamala's not the president.
Hello.
There's still an actual president right now who has been silent.
Well, he's a lame duck, so what are you going to do? We just letting Joseph Robinette Byron just, ride it out, baby. Stay in there, Joe. Hang in there, buddy.
He's still currently the president.
There is just an amazing amount of disconnection on,
Wow.
like, it's just like the internet is still just a forum, right? It's like
no.
Someone posts something and whatever the first response is sets the tone.
Right.
So now we're just lying now. You know, like we're just mad at it or we love it. It's one of the two. That's what the forums did.
Yeah.
It's like, and now it's just, I get to choose, you know, I'm going to choose which team I'm on. And am I going to be angry today or am I going to be happy today?
Right. Aye.
This message says, good morning, Fiancé family. Rudio. Rudio.
Yeah. Rudes. We're getting down on Saturday. Yeah. Retro Gaming Expo. I'm on the panel. He invited me into the panel.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Horror video games. Let's do it. And it's my birthday, so I'm going to be really
fancy. Excited. That is your birthday. What do you want for your birthday?
Everybody to come to my birthday party. The following day. At no request. Me and Cliff. That's what I want for my birthday.
That will be both of us having celebrated our birthday at no request this year.
Yeah.
So shout out to No Request for being a great way to celebrate a birthday.
It's a good time slot for a birthday.
You do love working on your birthday too. You love it.
It's my present to the peoples. You know?
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's take a little.
Let's give them the story. Let them know what the story is.
Oh, right.
And then we'll take the break.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it's all right.
We've done too much.
Yeah. So in local news,
Bully
been trying to warn us. Oregon Labor Bureau announces the fallout of not being funded, and I am not excited about that at all.
One Rene Gonzalez says, there's not enough money to make things better, but there's always money to waste.
Way to go, Rene. We can count on.
And in national news.
Let's go.
I hope we get to this.
We have to.
I don't know if you guys saw this over the weekend. Or was it the weekend or the week? I don't know. It was the week. It just happened. Jake Tapper over at CNN just creating a story.
Right.
Just throwing in things in order to call Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib anti-Semitic and help, make someone else. I don't even know.
Yeah. Nestle.
Yeah.
Before we go to break, Brooke said Biden is on vacation at Bernie's.
Brooke! Well.
Oh, snap. Way to bring it all the way home. All right. Yeah.
Love a good callback.
So we're going to do a music break, and then we will get on back to the news. Oh, my gosh. And we are back. It is News with My Fiancé. It is X-Ray FM. It is Morgan Jones and DJ Ambush. It is you, the fiancés, from the text message. It is Eric Adams getting indicted. You know?
It is Jake Tapper caught lying. Start calling that man Brian Williams.
Oh.
He'd still have a job, so it doesn't matter.
He would. He definitely would.
So I'm going to jump into that one.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, let's get some Jake Tapper in.
A media controversy erupted this week after U.S. Representative Rashida Tlaib from Michigan criticized Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel. Is it Dana or Dana?
I believe it's Dana.
Dana Nessel for prosecuting 11 pro-Palestinian protesters at the University of Michigan. On September 12th, Nessel announced charges against the students and alumni who had protested against Israeli military actions in Gaza by setting up an encampment in the university's main quad. The charges include misdemeanor trespassing and felony counts of resisting arrest. Now I want y'all to just put a pin in the felony or resisting arrest, okay? In an interview published September 13th, Tlaib, the only Palestinian American in Congress, criticized Nessel's decision to prosecute the protesters. She condemned the criminalization of student activism and warned of the long-term consequences of over-policing. Quote, in 10 years, the University of Michigan itself is going to teach about this movement and say how wonderful it was, she said. Tlaib also spoke about the harsh treatment of pro-Palestinian protests nationwide, pointing out the discrepancy in how different movements like climate or immigrant rights have been treated compared to protests about Palestine. Quote, it seems that the Attorney General decided if the issue was Palestine, she was going to treat it differently, she said, highlighting a potential bias. Days later, a political cartoon in the Detroit News and then ran by the National Review, escalating the controversy. The cartoon depicted Tlaib after the Israeli government detonated booby-trapped devices in Lebanon, fueling accusations of inciting Islamophobia. Nessel responded to the cartoon, but took the opportunity to also criticize Tlaib. I want to say that what the cartoon was Rashida Tlaib sitting at her desk with her looking up and says, my pager just blew up. My pager just blew up. So Nessel responded to the cartoon, but took the opportunity to also criticize Tlaib, accusing her of implying that Nessel's Jewish background influenced her decision to prosecute. Nessel retweeted, quote, Rashida should not use my religion to imply I cannot perform my job fairly.
Are you actually performing your job fairly, though?
However, Tlaib had never made any comments about Nessel's religion. Nevertheless, CNN's Jake Tapper mischaracterized Tlaib's remarks during a segment asking Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer whether Tlaib's criticism of Nessel was anti-Semitic. Whitmer avoided direct engagement, but later issued a statement echoing the accusations of anti-Semitism. By Tuesday evening, Tapper admitted he had misspoke after Detroit Metro Times journalist Steve Neveline fact-checked the claims, affirming that Tlaib never mentioned Nessel's religion. Despite the poor clarification, CNN's Dana Bash repeated the accusation, further amplifying the controversy. The incident reflects broader media dynamics where criticism of Israel or its supporters is often framed as anti-Semitic, diverting attention from discussions of Palestinian rights and the protesters' concerns. And I want to be clear that the unfolding media narrative continues to affect Tlaib. Right. Continues.
Right.
She has never had a moment of rest, And now, as a vocal advocate for Palestinian rights, the only Palestinian American representative, she has to deal with the issue of identity politics is not the issue of the people with the identities.
Say that part again.
Because she is not using her identity the way that it gets weaponized against her. She's existing.
That's it.
She's existing and she's using her experience to be able to guide the way that she governs, right? Or not governs, but, Leads.
Yeah.
She is not telling everyone they need to be Muslim. She is not saying that you must hate Israel. Like there is she's not doing any of that.
She's not trying to push forward legislation that says certain religious texts must exist in every classroom.
Exactly. But because Zionism is white supremacy, it is colonialism, it is conquering. Because that is true, you absolutely have to reframe it, right? If you are a Zionist, if you are a person who thinks that this should be happening and that the Palestinian people just must be eradicated, they certainly can't be neighbors. If you believe in that, you're going to have to figure out a way to say it different, right? Most people don't just say, yes, I am a colonizer. I love what I'm doing here. You got to come up with something. Now it's like we have been watching this for near a year. The movement that this country has taken that this government has taken to protect to protect people from a thing that isn't happening. I'm not saying that anti-Semitism doesn't happen. That obviously happens, and it's obviously rampant.
Absolutely.
What I'm saying is legislation happened. Laws happened to say you can't say these things because that's anti-Semitic when they're not. When you're allowing a full-blown misconstruing of what anti-Semitism is. And imagine making it so people can't say, I don't think we should kill large groups of people en masse.
Right. Any criticism of how the Israeli government is conducting themselves is anti-Semitic. Any criticism of how the U.S. government is participating in that genocide, anti-Semitic. You gotta be kidding.
You gotta be kidding. For Nessel to have turned it around, I mean, y'all gotta understand, this was like she was supposed to be saying this cartoon is beyond the pale. This shouldn't have happened. And somehow was able to say, Rashida should also not use my religion to talk about things I'm doing. Well, I didn't.
Never happened.
Didn't happen.
Talk to Jake about that.
Didn't happen. No, it was Nessel in the first place who said it. And then Jake ran with it.
Mm.
And then Dana Bash ran with it.
Right.
And when I say Jake and Dana Bash, what I mean is their producers, their staff, themselves.
Yeah.
They are not, Jake Tapper's show is not a 2-person operation the way News with My Fiancé is. There are people well, I mean,
yeah. Thursday.
Take Thursday morning. It is me and you.
Yeah. For facts. Yeah.
There are tons of people on that staff on that show alone. Yeah. And we ran with that. We ran with asking the actual governor, hey, what do you think about these anti-Semitic statements that someone might have made? And they end up pressuring Governor Whitmer to be like, I don't like anti-Semitism either.
Right.
This is the problem. Like, just doing the identity politics, weaponizing it, and then being like, well, these people, all you do is talk about identity politics.
I mean, it's also a very, really, really weak misdirect. Because the story here, the actual conversation is, you are treating these particular protesters differently. Why? That's it. That's the actual conversation. It's not something, you're allowing Nessel to dodge by creating this issue and running with this completely made up thing. And then once it's understood that this is made up, this is not what
even happened.
Not even happened. You get these half-hearted apologies or not even acknowledgments. No. Yeah.
To your point, Jake, the way that Jake acknowledged that he lied,
right,
was him saying apparently she didn't say that. So now, what do you have to say
about something she didn't say?
About something she didn't say. And that was it. That was it. That was the end of his. It wasn't even like a hey folks, and here's a correction. We need to correct the record earlier.
Nothing.
No, nothing. And again, we say when certain things are said by certain people, there is no, let me go back to that and make sure that thing is still true.
No. Word to J.D. Vance.
So I'm certain a lot of people that I know that believe CNN is the most, trustworthy news source are just like, gosh, the anti-Semitism is just rampant.
Right.
It's just, they won't let it go. But we are not focused on the actual anti-Semitism happening. We are focused on a fake thing in order to not pay attention to a genocide.
Mm-hmm. And the improper treatment of protesters.
Like, and the complete and total improper treatment of protesters. And someone thank you for bringing it back around.
Yeah.
Felonies for protesting?
Come on, bro. Come on.
Felonies.
Seriously.
In the land of the free and the home of the brave and the first of the free speech. Felonies.
That's wild. And yeah, you need to answer for that.
You absolutely have to answer for that. You cannot act as if that is what is normal and that's what happens and protesters get felonies every day, B. That's not how it goes. Civil unrest is a part of this. Right. It's a part of it.
And it's the least that can be done.
It's literally the least that can be done.
That's a felony. That's crazy.
Ruining lives. And we're talking about students. We're talking about, society says you absolutely need to go to college in order to even live in this society now, right? And college campuses tell you that you need to become a person who can think about multiple things. You got to open that mind. You got to get out here and learn new experiences. Become a critical thinker. They start doing critical thinking about a thing you don't like. And they go, this actually is I'm not okay with it. And I'm so not okay with it. I need other people to know.
There's a billboard downtown. I don't know if you saw it. I think it's
probably not. I don't go down there. It's on fire.
It is on fire. It is on fire. Me and Kaylin saw it last time we were going downtown, coming over the bridge, and it was like, remember when college was about losing your virginity and not losing your mind? Oh. And we saw it, and we're just like, what? And she took a photo of it, and I don't know why I thought I had a photo of it, but interestingly enough, a local tweeter that we follow here in Portland, they put it up earlier this week.
Oh, nice.
And it popped back, and I was like, oh, man, hilarious. And then again, right, you're supposed to be going to college to, learn all the things.
I mean, imagine saying,
free speech.
Yeah, become a critical thinker here, and then say, no, but don't think critically.
Don't go out there losing your mind.
Don't go out there doing that.
Yeah.
Don't actually find a position. Don't actually take a stand. Don't do that.
Yeah.
It is amazing to me how identities get weaponized. They get dismissed first. And you're told you're a DEI hire, no matter what, no matter your skills, no matter your intellect, no matter how long you've done the thing you're about to do, you're a DEI hire. And then you're also just going to ascribe things to me and my identity.
Right.
You get to project on me and I just got to eat it. That happens every day. That has happened to me multiple times in one workplace with one person, let alone all of the other workplaces and all the other people, right? But somebody gets to project their things onto you and you have to eat it.
You got to live right within that. I wonder if I'm a DEI hire.
Where? Here with me?
Morgan.
Oh, I was actually asking.
She's here with me. Oh my goodness. She had me transferred from my old job on the East Coast to a position here on the West. I'm a whole DEI hire. Got flued out. DEI'd. Wow.
It's just, different levels of it. So you got to eat it at work. This lady got to eat it in front of everybody, and somehow Nestle doesn't get
No.
We don't have to talk about the fact that she just made things up.
Right. Whole felony charge for protesting.
And to be clear, what Rashida said was there seems to be
some discrepancy.
Like a bias in the office that she runs.
Right.
She ain't even say anything about Nestle specifically.
At all.
She didn't say Nestle had the bias.
Didn't mention her name. Nothing. There seems to be some bias in the way this office is handling this particular situation. Yeah.
And in these moments, I want you to remember that hit dogs holler. And that lady got to run to CNN about it.
Yep. Correct. Music break.
Next. Take a music break, and then we got to talk about Rene or Bully or both.
I want to do Rene next.
Yeah.
We're back.
How about I read the story and you fix that? You can just turn your mic down.
Cool.
Something really funny just happened, but we'll save that for a BTS one day. Y'all, Nene is still worried about the wrong things. An important deadline approaches. Portland and Multnomah County leaders remain divided over a proposed policy that would limit how the government distributes tents and tarps to people living outdoors. During a Friday meeting of the Regional Homelessness Oversight Board, Portland City Commissioner Rene Gonzalez introduced a plan to restrict the distribution of these items, suggesting that tents offer a false sense of security for those without stable housing. Gonzalez, who is running for mayor, proposed limiting tent distribution primarily to periods of severe weather, because that's the only time people need shelter, and keeping detailed records of who receives them and where they set them up. The tents would also be labeled with, quote, county-funded tent tags, big and yellow, on the sides. The proposal, which Gonzalez said would help reduce encampment-related issues, such as fires and crimes, received a lukewarm response from county officials. It's a lot to take in, said County Commissioner Lori Stegman, voicing concerns about the approach. The debate over tent distribution has been ongoing since the city and county ramped up the practice during the COVID-19 pandemic. Increased tent usage brought complaints about blocked sidewalks and other public safety concerns. In 2022, a group of Portlanders with disabilities sued the city, claiming that the tents violated accessibility standards under the Americans with Disabilities Act. They reached a settlement, agreeing to restrict tent distribution under specific conditions, such as severe weather or replacing damaged tents. While Gonzalez's proposal mirrors parts of Portland's policy, it goes further by tracking the location and ownership of each tent. The proposal sparked concerns from some committee members about its impact on the unsheltered population. Quote, I worry we're approaching a place where we're dehumanizing people, said Stegman. If we say no one is going to hand out tents and tarps, then why shouldn't we hand out food? The region's homelessness crisis remains dire, with an estimated 5,398 people living unsheltered in Multnomah County as of, and that's of January 2024, while the county's roughly 2,000 shelter beds are nearly full most nights. Mindy one of these days I'm going to learn how to pronounce people's names. I'm sorry. Stadlander, CEO of HealthShare of Oregon, emphasized that tents can offer crucial protection for those who are sick. Quote, if someone living outside is sick, they have a much better chance of getting better inside a tent. Gonzalez acknowledged that even with expanded shelter capacity, many people might still choose to live outdoors. He cited city data showing that over 70% of the approximately 3,500 offers of shelter beds between April 2022 and January 2024 were declined. Quote, I want to calibrate expectations, Gonzalez said, stressing that fewer tents could push people toward shelters. The policy debate is just one of several homelessness-related issues under consideration. Multnomah County is also discussing potential penalties for public camping, as we all know, similar to measures introduced by the council earlier this year. I want to say a little something. And that little something is, the idea, this is what, so people read stories or hear stories like this and go, 70% of beds were declined. And we talk about this here, but we don't see it talked about much, right? What does it mean for them to offer you an alternative to jail that night? It is offering you a piece of paper with numbers on it. It's offering you a referral to a triage. And it's offering you to lose all of your things. If you have any pets, they're gone. If you are with people, sorry. You are to just abandon all your things and go sleep on a mat. But it's on the inside. So you've done it right.
It's incredibly dehumanizing.
Like the fact that she said we're approaching dehumanizing was a big LOL moment for me. But
for him to say, restricting the distribution of tents in an effort to push people. This isn't cattle.
Hello.
Why are you trying to push and herd people as opposed to listening to them? You don't want to spend money giving them tents. You don't want to spend money giving them the housing they're supposed to have. The housing that would fix this issue. Instead, you want to push them to a middle ground that has not worked.
Which is not a middle ground.
Well, in their consideration.
Right. I got to say, that's not a middle ground. Forcing people to lose all of their possessions and...
No.
The people that come up with these things are so far removed from what that would even look like. A person with multiple places to live is out here talking about tents can't cut it. Does that make sense?
Right.
Should it be the people that have never experienced anything and have never wanted to help someone out of something like that be the ones figuring out the policy? Should he be in control? This is a person who is already trying to strip control of a council that we decided needs to go a different way. And he has already been trying to change that and wants to change that so desperately because as mayor, he wants more power.
Right.
And we as Portlanders said the mayor shouldn't have as much power as he has if he's going to do this bad. And this guy said, hold my beer. I want to show you how bad it could get. We can take all of the words out, the be empathetic and be compassionate, because those things are being ripped to shreds and used in ways that make no sense. These people will tell you it is compassionate to hold them accountable for, I guess, their moral failure. Everything has told us that if you are a drug addict, that's on purpose. You decided, you chose, you wanted that. So we need to be mad at you about it.
Right.
And we need to say that you don't deserve housing and you don't deserve food. We don't need to ask you why you would choose drugs, even if we thought that was what the thing was. We don't even get to ask why. We don't get to address that issue.
Right.
Trauma for who? Why would we even talk about that? The idea that this is helpful because folks will tell you they're not even accepting the help. The help isn't help.
They're not accepting what you're offering. That doesn't mean what you're offering is help.
Boom.
So you don't get to decide that because this is what you want to offer, that this is something they should accept because it's the best thing for them. That's not how it works at all. That's not working in concert or collaboration with the group of people that you say you want to improve their situation. It's really, really clear, and it's been clear for a very long time. It's like when I started becoming aware of climate change and I didn't see it being a hot button issue with politicians. And at some point, it's like you guys aren't living in reality. This is a looming issue that's going to affect everything, and no one is talking about it. So here we are. The houseless issue is something that every major city is dealing with across the United States. And they're finding different ways to attack the problem, right? They are changing the urban landscape in a way to make it less hospitable to people trying to survive without resources. They're denying resources that may have worked in the past and refusing to explore ways that would at least ease the tensions and ease the situation that our unhoused citizens are in right now. So something as simple, we want to keep breaking up all of these encampments. Why aren't there trash cans there? Why aren't cans added to these areas so it can just be part of the route? Because the truck already goes down the street.
Hello.
Why aren't there porta potties? Why aren't we trying to meet them where they are and then also like actually work on delivering to them the housing that they need? Instead, it's, hey, I don't know, let's get a Major League Baseball stadium in here. Instead, it's Amzi saying we need to get into housing. Instead, it's Live Nation coming through and dropping it. Like, how does any of this address our current issues? How? Especially within the houseless population. How does this affect? We get told over and over again, oh, it's going to bring more jobs and opportunity and money and all these different things are coming to the city. You've already shown us you do not know what to do with the money you have. And so now Rene wants to make sure the tents are branded and they have a capability of being tracked.
Yo.
Because what?
Well, I got to know where my money's going. I mean, if I'm being honest, it's the least that should be happening. You know, like I need to know where my tents are.
Bruh.
Are we not at all concerned about what that means for someone who is a power hungry, abusive person to have that info?
Right.
Who wants obviously to do nothing but punish poor people? Just give them the registry of where they live outside because they took a tent that has a big yellow sign on it that says the county bought this. Why would we spend money on branding tents if people don't have homes? If people don't have a place, they don't have a place that they can go and lock a door. Why are we talking about branding the tents? Why are we talking about spending money that way? That's not a waste.
Y'all, he cannot be mayor. Like, for real.
Like,
this needs to end now. This needs to stop it down.
Yeah.
Tamp it down.
To your point of a housing crisis and homeless population explosion around the country, that is because this is a failure of capitalism, not because it's moral failures everywhere in every city and in every state.
Right.
It is also not just happening here. It is, in fact, worldwide. Yes, there are places that do not look like this right now, but more do than they don't. Because while we as a country go around the globe and destabilize other nations, we destabilize our home every single day by not taking care of the people that live here.
Right.
By not taking care of the people that generate the wealth of this stupid place. By trying to track a property rather than make sure people get into a place to live.
Mm-hmm.
It is completely backwards. That is not accountability. I saw a text. There's not a text, a tweet. There are these accounts that, I can't tell. Are you a bot? Are you a person? If you're a person, are you really a person? Know? But I had not seen someone lay it out so clearly. These super anti-Portland people that are supposed to live in Portland who have been so mad since 2020, since we had the audacity to protest against police brutality.
Lord forbid.
This person said, if you are, Rene is your candidate, if you are upset from the 2020 BLM riots,
still,
Rene is the only one looking to make people accountable and clean the city up and make it safe. These people were not in any way impacted by those protests.
Nope.
And I absolutely refuse to call them riots.
Nope, they weren't. You know how I know they weren't? Because I was working downtown during it. So the entire we were downtown working. So
these are the same people that are riding by on the freeway.
Right.
Who do not live in Portland, who maybe never did. But if they did, it was at least 15 years ago, back in the good old days, or it was the 90s. And it was, back then when I lived there. Why are you so concerned? Why are you so concerned with who's going to be the mayor of Portland if you have not lived here? Do not live here. And I'm saying that because the concern is feigned. It isn't about, I am concerned about who's the mayor of New York City.
Right.
And I don't live there. And it's because I'm concerned for the people who live in New York City.
Right.
It isn't because I'm there's too many people living there. They better get that stop and frisk back because the subways are... Imagine being so upset about things that haven't happened that you are literally changed your whole personality about it. Mm-hmm. Your whole personality has become anti-Portland because protests? The amount of protests that were happening, 2016, 2017, 2018, all the white supremacists that were coming here marching. Were you peeved? Could you just not believe it? When the Proud Boys were beating people up, was that a riot? When Joey was bringing the Patriot Prayer buddies and the police are giving them heads up everywhere they go and they're carrying rifles and they're on the top of roofs. They're ready to be snipers. They're caught in the act. Were you peeved? Were you upset? When you saw the text message exchanges between the police and white supremacists, were you upset? Could you not believe it? Did it make you want to move? What are the things that move you? If those things don't matter, but the protests surrounding police brutality and state-sanctioned murders, too far, beyond the pale. Unbelievable. A trash can is on fire. My beloved elk.
You're very
these are the people that want to spend money on making sure that elk is back, which, to be clear, if you are from Portland, there have been people sleeping in that park next to that elk forever, in between the Justice Center and the courthouse, forever. Yes, let's bring the elk back so that we can have another monument to, I don't know, pieces of property. So we can have another landmark to say, yes, the homeless people are sleeping in the park next to the elk.
To the tune of 1.8 million.
We could house people. And I want to be very clear because there are people that like to do what if they still did drugs? So what? They'd be out of your face.
You do drugs.
That's all you want. Also, you do drugs.
You do drugs. Stop. You do drugs, bro. Get out
also,
of here.
Say it fails. Say a program fails for 100 people out of 2,000 people. Do you stop the program? Do you say, oh, this clearly didn't work? Do you understand percentages? Do those things matter? If it isn't 100% success rate, just don't do it. And if that's the case, then I'd love to introduce you back to your own plan, which has had a no percentage success rate for centuries.
Right.
War on poor people has to end. It's just, this is how we are still talking about things that are not the root, that are not the actual fix, that wouldn't even get us close to it, that wouldn't even get us next to a resolution. That alone should radicalize all of us, that we are still having conversations on the surface that people are still arguing the things that do not matter, that are not true. Rene Gonzalez lies. He flatly lies. He gets caught. He doesn't say I lied. He doesn't say whoopsie doodles. He doesn't do any of that. He literally just stays quiet until the next lie. And his wife can send me a message right now and tell me how she feels about me. I would not care. I could not possibly care less. This is a person signing up for this and making his own bed every single day that he decides to lie, misuse our public funds, misuse our police system that he claims to care about.
Right.
That's mayoral? Also, really quickly, this has absolutely nothing to do with any of the things I'm saying right now, but LMAO Mingus Maps, you out here trying to start Twitter beefs?
Stop it,
with
sir.
One of your besties?
Stop it, sir. Cut it out. You're not fooling anyone.
Mingus doing the identity politics. Mingus, when did you start to care about black women? Was it when Rene started to lie about them?
Because you could have been said something about that.
Because I feel like that was a while ago. I feel like we was lying on Joanne Hardesty to get into office.
And you endorsed Rene. You was riding with Rene.
Now,
all the way.
I don't know about that guy lying about the black people.
You're not fooling us, Mingus. Not at all. You're listening to X-Ray FM at KXRY Portland at 91.1 and 107.1 FM. And in Nehalem, Wheeler, Manzanita, and Rockaway Beach at 91.7 FM. Streaming online everywhere at xray.fm. I saw something the other day that X-Ray is going to be able to be heard at Cannon Beach soon.
Really?
Bruh.
It's my dad's favorite beach.
Bruh.
I love it.
Big moves.
All right. We did it. We're done.
Yep. Thank you for tuning in. This is My Fiancé, brought to you by Morgan Jones and DJ Ambush, and our podcast editor, Kyle G. of Residual Audio. Thank you, all the fiancés, for texting. We'll make sure we get all those texts in the episode description. The playlist is updated. And we will see you Monday. I got it right this time. Got it right. Monday at 6:30 on the YouTubes for our live show. Please join us out there. It's pretty fun.
Hit the chat.
You know what I'm saying? Don't let the individual distract you from the systems. Poverty is a policy choice. People over profits. Power to the people. None of us are free until we are all free. Thank you so much for listening, and
bye.